Join us for a look at Matches, a fantastic modern card game that will really appeal to traditional playing card game fans.
Matches was created by a friend of the show, Daniel McKinley, who we have to thank for gifting us a copy at Gamma Expo. You can find Danny on the Everyday Board Games podcast.
Danny's game features artwork by Gustavo Gutierrez and is being published by Thing 12 Games. It plays 2 to 6 players with games taking under an hour.
Now, the recommended age is 8+, and the game should be quick to pick up for traditional card game fans. It has a lot in common with games like Gin, Spades, and Euchre.
Matches combines elements from many traditional card games into its own thing that I like to call a card burning game. Players are competing for points, which are earned for being the last player standing during each hand and for creating matches being pairs. There's also an advanced take that mode play where players can buy cards to burn the other players.
One of the most striking features of Matches is its presentation. The game comes in an oversized match box. The box itself is really well constructed, even has magnets to help keep it from randomly sliding open. The game also features some other nice components and has great card quality, all of which you can see in our Matches unboxing video that's over on YouTube.
Now, the actual deck in Matches has cards numbered from 1 to 10, where you get 10 ones and 5 of each other card. There are also 5 flair cards.
Now, a game of Matches is played over 4 rounds, indicated by setting aside 4 fire tokens at the start of the game. The game starts with the lead player shuffling the entire deck and dealing out 10 cards to each player. They then pick 1 card from their hand to play to the center of the table and put a fire token on it. This is called the Blaze.
Then the next player has to choose to pass or to play. To be able to play, you either need a single card that matches the Blaze or any number of cards that add up to the value of the Blaze. You even have the option to flip the card's face and then count them each as a 1, though you have to be paired with something else. You can't play only face-down cards.
Now, if the card played is an exact match, the Blaze grows by putting another fire token on it. If a player has a flair card, they can play that instead of numbered cards, and this also causes the Blaze to grow by 1 fire token. All cards are played in front of the player who played them.
Now, a player can pass, which is called burning out, at any time, even if they have a valid play. When you pass, you collect 1 fire token per matching pair of cards you have in front of you. You score your matches, that's the name of the game. You're then out for the rest of the round. Now, the first player to pass also collects the start player marker and will get 1 of the set-aside fire tokens and will become the lead for the next round.
The round continues until all players have burnt out but 1, and then that player gets to collect all the fire tokens on the Blaze. The lead then passes to the player that has the first player token. At this point, players have the option to discard any cards left in their hand, and everyone gets as many new cards as they need to get back up to a hand of 10, and a new round begins.
The game ends after 4 rounds. You finish the round in which the last burnout token is taken, and the player with the most fire tokens wins.
Now, in addition to these basic rules, the game also comes with a set of burn cards. To use these, you shuffle them, then deal out a 4-card market. At any point during a player's turn, they can purchase one of these burn cards, which cost points, 1 to 4 points. Each card does something different, but all of them are designed to be nasty to the other players.
After a burn card is bought, the cards all slide down and you replenish the market, which makes the leftover cards cheaper.
There are a few things in the box as well, and that's because Matches is the second game in Thing 12's Cthulhuian Artifact series. We're going to leave those for you to investigate on your own.
So we got to try Matches at Gamma Expo 2024 with the entire Everyday Board Games team, which includes the designer, Daniel McKinley himself. And it's always great to learn a game from the designer. But that's not what made us instantly fall in love with this game. It's the familiar, yet different and unique gameplay. Matches really feels like a traditional trick-taking game or rummy game or a ladder climbing. Well, that's the part that amuses me the most about this game. It feels like a traditional playing card game, but then doesn't quite fit the style or definition of any of the popular types. I've taken the same Matches as what you get when you take the Hoyle Book of Games and light it on fire.
Yeah, I've been amused by watching you try and explain this one to other people because you've yet to come up with something succinct. It's like, I'm going to take 5 minutes to try and overview what this game is. But I swear, it's like traditional games and you like it, but it's not quite like that or that. But the word familiar is so spot on because if when you're playing it, it feels familiar. It's like a stew pot of every traditional card game that I played as a kid.
Yeah, it's definitely something. And it's great that you can introduce it to people without the burn cards and, play this fun, familiar game. And then if you want that extra boost, you can throw it in and play the game with those take that cards. Or if everyone's just feeling more sociable and a little more, friendly, you can leave them out as well. And it's just as good a game.
And just like it feels familiar, right? It feels comfortable. It's immediately enjoyable, at least to me as a card game player for pretty much my whole life. Other highlights in matches include just enough card counting to be interesting, but not enough that you have to focus on the game too much. Ease of teaching the game, both to experienced card game players and board game fans, is there. And small table space makes it a good coffee shop and pub game, which Deanna and I love.
I actually think the way that the hands reset every round, where you get to choose how many cards you're going to hold on to, and then the deck gets completely reshuffled and new cards are dealt out, that really kills any serious card counting aspect of the game, which I like that's kind of next, right? The only part of the game I didn't love was the 2-player version. Like, this is the perfect game to play at a pub based on the size and the style of the game, but sadly only if you have 3 or more at the table. With 2 players, it is just too easy to win just by trying to be the first to go out each round. The playing chicken aspect, the part where you try and bluff and stay in as long as possible, it does not work with 2.
Yeah, and sadly I can't disagree with that. Now, the other part of matches I didn't love is what Sean was talking about there with your optional burn card rules. Like, I get why they're there. They're the kind of thing that I think will appeal to gamers who like take that and hobby card games fans who like being able to shop at a market and have more choices. But to me, these rules are there for board gamers, and I think most playing card players are going to want to leave them in the box. And I'm more comfortable with the base game. I find it more engaging. And to take that, just the point ranges we've had whenever we use them are just ridiculously far apart from first to last.
Yeah, I thought optional gamer cards were going to be what would make this game amazing, but it's not true. Instead, it's the base gameplay that really shines.
Yeah, sometimes, card games are great for just a deck of cards. And I mean, while this isn't a standard deck of cards, as we pointed out, it doesn't quite fit. That feeling and that familiarity of just having that deck of cards to play with without anything extra is really what makes this go a long way. Another one thing we did run into, if you are playing at a dimmer area with more people, it can be a little hard to read some of those burn cards at a distance across the table. Yeah. So that's another thing you have to take into account if you're playing with a group.
So overall, all 3 of us are loving matches. Like I was sold that first game, and I got to thank Danny for gifting us a copy. Like, this game has been a hit with the 3 of us. It's been a hit with our family. It's been a hit at our local public play events. There's people in our chat room shouting out, "I love matches" right now. It's pretty awesome. This is one I expect to stay on our regular menu for quite some time.
Yeah, and I will say it's just the burn cards that are hard to read sometimes across the table. Yeah. The rest of the iconography of this game is spot on. If you dig traditional card games, you have to check out matches from Thing 12 Games. It is a great example of how a modern card game can recapture that feel of traditional playing card games while still being something totally new.
Yeah. Now, if you like screwing over your opponents and take that style of board game and card game, you will probably enjoy matches and like it even more with those optional bird cards in play, even if it's not our thing.
Now, if you are sick of traditional card games and don't want to play another Trick Taker, because, man, everyone's putting out new Trick Takers, I still think you should check out Matches. While this does feel traditional, it is doing new things with old mechanics. And because of that, it feels fresh.
Yeah, this is most definitely not just another Trick Taker.
This is a lot of game for a lot of people in a small box.
Now, what I really want to know, anyone out there, this is for those of you who've tried Matches, right? Who are listening to this and go, "Oh, what do they think?" I want to know what you call it. What is this game? Do you classify it as a Trick Taker? The publisher on Board Game Geek says Trick Taker, and I'm like, I almost want to go edit that myself and hopefully get it approved. Would you call it a rummy game? Because some of my friends, that's what they called it. They're like, no, it's like gin or it's like rummy. And I'm like, yeah, there's aspects of that. Would you call it a bidding game? Because that's what the designer called it when we first started playing. Like, no, it's a bidding game. I want to know what you think Matches is.
Leave a comment wherever you found this review to let us know what kind of game you think Danny has created here.
And you know what's hotter than matches? Our Patreon. Support the show and get access to cool bonus content at patreon.com/tabletopbellhop.